Welcome back to the 7 Mysteries, or Paranormasight. What voice did I give him? I can't remember. The news has attracted a bunch of... Oh wait, yeah, you had a normal one. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. He appears to be wary of the police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Thank you for letting me know you downloaded in the background. Let's inquire. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That the school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jinochi and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. But there was one story that caught my attention. Oh. Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mr. Jinochi. Really? The story got 2 pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio is going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students. And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pigtailed girl in her school uniform was seen around school late last night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school kid to wear pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all the students actually have a copy of the list. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no. Sure, let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio. So you might have missed a few seconds of the last conversation. It's because it crashed. Gotta love when that happens. We found a list to the house. To Michio's house. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shirashi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights were out. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers outside. It's a bit quieter over here. It is a residential area after all. All these run-down row houses really scream working class, don't they? I don't understand why no one's come to this house, even after Michio committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay. I've never liked these messy and cluttered back streets. They give me the jitters every time. It's reassuring to have someone as strong and tall as Richter accompanying me. He looks so unfazed. I suppose a detective is used to this kind of thing. Always investigating and chasing criminals. I wouldn't be cut out for it. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out the Shirashi reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you a quick summary. They were assholes. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first, they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, and being helped in turn. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kanichiro Iwa. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So what of this Iwa? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him to not hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shirashi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shirashis entirely and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down. It seems that they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worst. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Oh, so you came here too? What is it? Let's see. Could you repeat what you know? Oh, no, it's him. Could you repeat what you know? One more time for me, Richter. Uh-oh. I wonder if this is now different. Seems like Michio's house is at the end of the road. We don't want to intimidate them, so go alone. Okay, so we've seen that. We're just gonna skip over. So now they might be here. Alright, so it looks like we didn't get here in time. So this may not be it. Let's see. Let me see where to go. Alright, I think I've got it. So we'll have to skip some dialogue, but I've got this so far. And so, Mio and Kurisuza and Mio and Yako decide on their next location to investigate. Which now gives us an edge. Here we are at Kamagata High. Huh? That's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We brought here for a reason. Come on, idiot. Huh? What? Hey, aren't you... You must be the high schoolers skirting the child labor laws we've been heard so much about. Say that again. Sorry, he's with me. Mr. Tsutsumi? If that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my work conditions. I'd prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us, you can have whatever you want. Boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thank you so much. I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Oh yeah, like one of those places in Ginza? I've never been. Let's go. We got ourselves a deal, right, boss? The girls are at our service. Hold on now. What just happened? I never said I'd sushi. Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included? You guys are funny. You should do stand-up. Sorry, wrong voice. So, how much have you been able to figure out? Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the 7 mysteries of Honjo. That allows even those who do not have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least that's my hypothesis. Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries, not 7. When the Feast of Shadows was cast, the cursed stones appeared before those who wanted the rite at the locales of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather 3 cursed stones so far, including the ones I got first, the Evergreen Beach. You got 3 already? Wow. We have the cursed stone of the Fool's Procession. Yeah, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me, Yako, the girl standing behind Mio. She does? Is she alright? Could we take it off your hands? We could take it off your hands. Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out. Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then. Thank you. Please keep collecting the other cursed stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows. Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other cursed bearers? Have you run into any of them? Well, last night at school. You were here last night? Yes, you see. Huh. You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool. So that's when you ran into the Curse Echo? I'm glad you survived the encounter. Somehow we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The Curse Echo we saw took shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg. What? A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's... one-sided read? The one-sided read, this is bad. Huh? What's so bad about that one? You idiot! Think! The cursed bearer, the one-sided read is... God damn it, I can't remember. It's killing bro. Fumachika Nijima, he admitted himself that it's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the curse, if that's the case, Nijima might have been here last night. What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? Who's Nijima? No clue. Forensics are still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but there were too many onlookers outside for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene too. What's the rope all about? It indicates where Jinochi's body was found. They've moved his body, but this is the way we still have an idea of what was found. Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see his arms and legs are still a bullet area. He's scaring her. This kind of stuff is a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because she was staring at it intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think? I knew that the second I looked at the scene. You're right, traces of a curse is still lingering here. I figured as much. Does that mean Jinochi was killed by one of the curses of the 7 mysteries? Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind traces. Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say that I'm used to it. It's just, comes with experience, I guess. Nah, I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat? Stop it, Mr. Tatsumi. She's going to get the wrong idea. Wow, that's amazing. Mio, you're a professional. You think? Totally. You're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome. When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is. So the curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene too. It's usually easier to let Irio do the talking when it comes to younger people, but we only have a day. It'll be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. Mio, she's Mio Kurosuzu. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs Chief. I've heard that she helps out with investigations free of charge under the guise of training. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty of times while I was in the Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got strong spirit senses, sharp instincts and courage, plus quite the brain to back it up. That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around. Huh? You want to talk to me? You'd probably be better off asking Mio. So, Najima is trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes. Huh? He said he was going to massacre the city at sundown today? And that he's trying to get to your daughter, too? That's why we've been trying to find him, but to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So, just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night? Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Jinochi, and one of our classmates, Itomi. Don't forget old man Ashimiya. Wait, Itomi? Wait, Itomi? Do you mean Itomi Akuda, second year student? Yes, why? Boss, so she was here last night. I saw Itomi earlier, though she didn't seem like the curse bearer to me. You did? Did you talk to her? Yes. Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that? Itomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect. So, I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this. I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter. A different matter? You mean about the police officer, Mr. Yoshimi? You know about that? Did Itomi say something about him? Yeah, she did actually. She's certainly well versed in the paranormal. I just can't get over the darkness. So this is Yako. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally make a friend? If she did, it would do this old man's heart good. But I better not say that out loud. I don't want her to look bad. Forensics is still investigating the area. If we're talking about people who were at the school last night. There was one more person, though I'm not too clear on the details. There was someone else? Apparently, Atomi actually saw Mr. Jinochi getting cursed and killed last night. What? Talk about some vital information. What she said happened was... Michio was the one who killed Mr. Jinochi? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw? Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there. Must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Jinochi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not. Damn, boss. You think it really could have been Michio's ghost? I think the fucking flips he always does. I mean, based on what we've heard, he does have plenty of reason to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because a paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Najima was behind Jinochi's death. But what about Epitomi's story? About this janitor, Ashima. Was it? How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here? Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? It's a fucking investigation. I only just transferred to this school, though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him. I see. Thanks. Think I'm starting to get a better picture of all this. Huh? Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see. What do you... No way! Irio, have the officers apprehend the janitors. He worked at night shift, so he might still be in the overnight town room. Yes, right away. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they've been looking to question Ashima too, but couldn't find him anywhere. No. That's all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of Ashimiya here? The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it. Irio, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Wrong voice. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away. Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some terrible, horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that? To think he was so close to us this whole time, it gives me chills. A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work here at a school. Let's hope it isn't already too late. Oh! I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night. What? I don't like this one bit. Najima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then, could it have been old man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him that you were still in the building. What? You did? Yikes. Good thing I didn't say anything. You might have gotten very lucky there, kid. This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law, help us. About the mastermind behind the Feast of Shadows. To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows, it would help if I knew more about how the curses of the 7 mysteries first came about. In that case, you're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy. You mean Mr. Arashi? I would very much like to talk to him. Alright, he's a teacher here too, isn't he? You would know him already. He might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. Do you know where he is? I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers. The cafe? Oh. Kiko, whatever, cafe. In Kamizawa? Thanks, we'll head over there now. School rules say we're not allowed to go to the cafe, though. Don't worry about it, I'll allow it. Thank you. Huh? That's all it takes? There must be a mastermind behind everything, someone who orchestrated all of this for a reason. I want to find out why. Hitomi did say Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something. He did? What was it? Yoshimi gave her a talisman? Yes, apparently he also asked her to look for another one just like it. One with Michio, the one Michio had. What kind of talisman could they be, boss? Doesn't ring a bell. But if Yoshimi was talking about him with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important. Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found? I'll check, but if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died. Right. Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about the talisman. I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi. I'm no good, huh? I was a friend with Yoshimi, though. You don't seem like too bad of a guy, not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us. Well then. Do you think she'd talk to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before? Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her. Alright, then we better find her fast. You haven't been able to reach her? That's still a little worrying. Mayu Kozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we can't manage to contact her. Okay, I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh, right, one more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters. What? So it was Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that? Could you check on that? I will, but well, I don't know if they'll pick up on a call when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes. Nakagoshi's the chief, but he almost never's in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists, or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken with him myself. All the paranormal affair cases are referred to as Nakagoshi cases. Geez, what's up with that? That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this whole mystery. What was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about the grudge? Did you know anything about her? What's your relation? I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first. Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Irio. Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though. Okay. After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision. Wait, what? An accident? Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about being a suicide. What, a van speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay? A van? There's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman? Yako. Yes. Wait, was I... Are you back now? How did you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy there. It's no problem. As long as you're okay. That was quite the surprise, though. Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't he? Well, he didn't give me any specifics, if you're wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind, either. Right. Do you have any idea why Jinochi was so scared of Michio? Well, about that. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but... I see, well, half expected. It was something like that. Thank you for telling us. Sorry, it's hard to explain. I wonder what he got on his plate. I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that. Michio, what happened? Hey boss, forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground a short distance away from the scene. What is that? A ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair. What? I've seen that ribbon before. You have? Go on then. That's a ribbon that Michio used to wear. What? Doesn't that mean Michio was here? Are you sure? Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. It has to be hers. Then, did she come back to life somehow? But how? If it was Michio and I came back to life, if I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go? That's the question. She got her revenge on Jinochi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision? If she did come back to life, then it's terrible sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live. I'm afraid that's all we can tell you. Don't worry, you were a big help, thanks. We should start our search for Nijima and Mayu. It might be worth it to check Miu's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operations. If anything happens, go to one of the offices hanging around here. Got it. Thank you and good luck. We'll go tell Mr. Arashi about the way to lift the curses. Alright, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready. So we finish that. So we can move. So next time, we have all new things to do. So thank you guys so much for joining me. You're awesome as always. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.